All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today we're unpacking a raw, absolutely powerful motivational reset. This is designed for anyone out there who's feeling stuck, facing serious adversity, or just struggling on the mat of life. We're dissecting a high-intensity philosophy on resilience today, and honestly, it is not about that toxic positivity stuff. It's a structural, practical approach to surviving the absolute worst moments of your life and actually using them as fuel. So if you've ever needed a mental framework to help you push through a seemingly impossible barrier, you are in exactly the right place. Right out of the gate, the source material establishes this undeniable reality. Whether it's your health, your marriage, or just news you never saw coming, you are going to take hits and find yourself gasping for air. The speaker is incredibly realistic here. There's literally no dodging the blow. You are going to get hit by life. You might find yourself entirely perplexed by a sudden crisis. The core premise we're starting with is that getting knocked to the mat is a universal baseline. It happens to all of us. We all go down. But here's where it gets interesting. While you can't always control the pain you endure, and let's be real, that pain might stick with you for years, you have absolute control over this one crucial choice. Are you going to let it become a bitter stumbling block or use it as a better stepping stone? The event itself, completely out of your hands. But how you classify that event is entirely up to you. You can label it as a stumbling block that destroyed you, or you can categorize it as a stepping stone that made you better. The pain is mandatory, sure, but the bitterness, that's completely optional.
Let's move into Section 1, the power of your why. So, before you can physically rise back up, you need a psychological engine. You've got to ask yourself this directly and honestly, why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you practice? Why do you endure the pain? This demands a profound answer. Because if your reason for doing what you do is fragile, the very first heavy hit from life is going to shatter it completely. You have to isolate that singular, unshakable reason that anchors you to your goals.
The speaker hammers this point home. Whether you're doing it to make your mama proud, to get that dream house, or to leave a lasting legacy for your kids, your why is the engine that pushes you when you simply cannot push yourself. Listen, you're going to cry, you're going to feel lonely, that's all guaranteed. But when your inner voice is telling you to just give up and go back, it's this specific, deep-seated reason that screams louder. Your why steps in to do the heavy lifting when your physical and emotional strength just completely runs out.
Moving right along to Section 2, taking ultimate responsibility.
Okay, this is probably the toughest, yet most liberating concept in this entire explainer. The critical difference between victimization and accountability. Getting knocked down isn't your fault. You had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to you. But if a week, a year, or 20 years pass and you are still screaming trapped down there on the ground, that is entirely on you. The speaker draws a hard, necessary line here. Getting hit is out of your control, but getting back up has every single thing to do with you. You simply cannot blame the world for your refusal to stand back up.
You've got to realize that you are already your own superhero, and no one is going to just hand you your dream life. Nobody is coming to save you. I know, it sounds harsh initially, but it's actually the ultimate empowerment. Stop looking outside for things that already exist inside of you. The dream life you want is real, they just aren't passing it out for free. You already possess the tools you need right there in your own head to achieve it.
So instead of looking outward, you must square your shoulders, plant your feet, and actively fight for your dreams and your health. You have to recognize that this is absolutely not your season to quit or die. You want affirmation? Don't wait around for applause. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I think I can. I know I can. You are your own biggest driver. Whatever is weighing over you right now is trying to define you, and whatever defines you limits you. Do not dare crumble under the weight of it. You stand up for your peace of mind, you stand up for your health, and you absolutely refuse to raise that white flag of surrender.
Which brings us to Section 3, how to recycle pain. So how do we actually do this? The speaker outlines a literal survival method he personally used. Step 1, outlast the temporary agony. Step 2, focus on just surviving today. And Step 3, use the inevitable trials and tribulations to empower yourself rather than lose your spirit. When people ask for the secret to success, the most raw answer given in the source is simply, I outlasted the pain. You don't necessarily have to conquer the whole world in 24 hours. Sometimes the absolute greatest victory is just making the decision to survive today, knowing that eventually the pain is going to run out of energy before you do.
Drawing from his own real-life experience of being homeless and sleeping in abandoned buildings, the speaker proves that you have to boldly tell yourself that your current circumstance is not how the story ends. Just imagine the mental fortitude required to wake up in an abandoned building and consistently project a future of home ownership. It's wild.
But this teaches us that we cannot let our immediate environment dictate our ultimate destination. You have to constantly remind yourself that today might not be the day, but one day will be your day, and that day can't arrive if you give up today.
Because he lacked college training and standard credentials, he faced immense laughter and rejection. And that led him to redefine a bad day simply as a character-building day. Think about how incredibly powerful that linguistic shift is. When you're working on your dream, rejection is necessary. Most people hear no, lose their spirit, and just stop. But if you reframe a day full of closed doors not as a bad day, but as a day that built the necessary character for your eventual success, you strip the rejection of its power to hurt you. Basically, no guts, no glory.
Let's dive into Section 4, Winning Before You Fight. To get this psychological edge, you need the mindset of an absolute beast. You must make up your mind that you've won before you face cancer, before you take the exam, and before you have that difficult conversation. You don't win a fight during the fight. The winner is determined long before the bell even rings, based on preparation and the absolute, unshakable decision made beforehand. You have to make up your mind about your victory before you even step foot into the arena of your challenge. You've got to believe in the dark. When you're in the lab practicing totally alone, you have to possess this relentless faith that the universe is lining up on your side simply because of your guts and determination. Believing in the light, when everyone's cheering and clapping for you, that's incredibly easy. But believing in the dark, when you're alone, unseen, practicing, failing, and trying again, that is exactly where the foundation is poured. You have to trust that your courage, your imagination, and your relentlessness are actually forcing the universe to yield to you.
And this leads to the ultimate realization. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. When you stop focusing on the obstacles, when you stop caring what people think, and when you stop seeking their approval, life begins to yield to you. The pressure within you must become greater than the pressure outside of you. Impossible is not a fact, it's just an opinion, and it's one you simply do not have to accept. So since the roadblocks are absolutely guaranteed, we're left with this final, lingering question for today. What exactly are you going to do with your pain? You are going to have hard times. Things will not go the way you planned. Honestly, if success were easy, everybody would do it. But you have a choice. Will you choose to fall or will you choose to rise? Will you let the setbacks defeat you or will you jump back up and declare that it isn't over until you win? Take a hard look at the pain in your life right now and make the conscious choice to let it redefine you into something completely unbreakable. Keep grinding, keep standing, and never, ever